Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the album Fatal Portrait by King Diamond. Um, this album was released in 1986, and was the first album to be from King Diamond's solo band. One thing I don't know is whether he just did this and then eventually went back to do the other Merciful Fate album, or he was in his band while also doing the Merciful Fate stuff as well. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this was released in 1986. The first self-titled first King Diamond album from his self-titled band. Band members. Timmy Hansen on bass, Michael Denner on guitar, King Diamond on vocals, Andy LaRocque on lead guitar, and Mikkey Dee on drums. So the album starts off with the song "The Candle." Again, kind of like with the beginning song from the album Abigail. It starts off with this sort of intro type thing, like a spoken word intro. This one's not as good. Like, the intro is not as good, is not as memorable as the intro to the first song from the second album, Abigail. But I mean, it's still okay. And then the song itself, when it gets into the actual song, it's really good. King Diamond does some really eerie vocals, especially with the just the backing vocals as well on here. And just the everything about the song is perfect. Other than that spoken word intro, which I think could have been a little bit better. I do really love everything else about the song. The second song is the Jonah. This one is sort of an okay song. I don't mind it. The third song is the song "The Portrait." This one, even though it has a good story, it's just it's good story wise, but everything else is just sort of meh. Dressed in White is pretty forgettable. Here we go. The fifth song is Charon, Charon. This is by far, is it my favorite? I don't know. It's a tie between The Candle being my favorite and Charon being my favorite. This song is just as good as The Candle. Again, a perfect song overall and a really great story too. Track number 6, Lurking in the Dark. This one's pretty good. I do really like this one as well. Track number 7, Halloween. Definitely my third favorite song on the album. It's a really fitting song for not only King Diamond wise, but just listening to it in October as well. 8th song, Voices from the Past. Kind of forgettable. And then 9th song, Haunted. Pretty forgettable. The story. Okay, so unlike pretty much almost every other King Diamond album, this is not an entire concept album. There's like 4 songs, I believe, that are the actual story, and the rest are just random short stories. Of course, The Candle, I believe, is one of the songs. Like, the main story consists of, I think, the song The Candle, I think The Portrait, yeah, The Candle, The Jonah, The Portrait, and I believe, Haunted. But yeah, I mean, the story is actually pretty good. I wouldn't say it's as interesting or as the story from Abigail, but still really good. Basically, I don't know. I can't exactly remember. I mean, I can remember the story. Like, I haven't really sort of paid attention for a while when listening to this, but from what I remember, when I was like, I usually when I listen to this, I usually just pay attention to the actual music. Other than with Abigail, I pay attention to everything just because I love that album so much, and just really, I got invested like the very first second. Anyway, the story overall with this, though, with the story going on here with the four songs that connect to one another, um, it's actually kind of vague. Of I mean, it's definitely a solid story, but it's very vague as well. Basically, from what I can gather, there's this woman who's very jealous of her daughter's beauty, so much so that she uh, throws her in the attic and locks the attic, trapping her daughter in the attic, and then basically like she makes this portrait of her daughter, but like she curses the portrait to where like every time the portrait gets more and more complete, her daughter like starts like dying more and more because I guess the woman's that petty of her daughter's beauty. I don't know. To the point where the daughter dies after the painting's finished, and then I guess years later, like not years later, but a little while later, like the daughter's ghost comes back for revenge, and then yeah, that's basically the plot of the story. It's not very thought out and fleshed out and like very detailed like the story of Abigail in the second album. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the story. Um, Overall, I'm gonna give this album a 5 out of 10. The story's interesting, but a little bit too vague. There are a few really good songs, but a lot of them are pretty forgettable. And the overall style of sound on this album doesn't really sound like a King Diamond sound. This album, I guess, was originally supposed to be another Merciful Fate album, but didn't happen. It didn't happen that way. So you can kind of hear it really sounds like a Merciful Fate album. Besides the storytelling is definitely the style of the King Diamond stuff, but maybe it's because it's a Merciful Fate style sound, which a Merciful Fate style sound trying to be King Diamond, or maybe vice versa, to where it just doesn't quite sound like. Even though I like Merciful Fate, I do like the sound of the King Diamond stuff a bit more. So maybe that's why this one's very odd to me. But yeah, it's not a bad album. I mean, I give it a 5 out of 10. It's good. I mean, where it's good is good, where it's bad is bad, but it's sort of a mixed bag. Um, but yeah. So that was it for this review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.